All right, cool. Finally got this working. I'm trying to do this. I'm gonna do this a little differently this time. I'm utilizing a tool called V.R.S, Virtual Racing School. It's really neat. You'll see all the kind of cool things you can do. The reason I'm redoing this. Uh, we had a practice session the other night. I got a quicker lap. I think I got down to like a 10, or sorry, like a 2:10.6. I'm driving the Jetta TDI Cup car on VIR. I can tell you right now, there was definitely a little bit more grip in the track compared to my old laps, and that would be probably the majority of the reason why I got a quicker lap time. But it was a clean lap nonetheless, and I just kind of I didn't want to re-upload the same lap here, so I figured use the quickest lap I have. You can see here though, really quickly, before we even get into it, you can see we got a clear brake, gas, gear, shift, steering right here, and then everything else is we got our throttle brake here. These are gonna do a bunch of lines there. You get your speed and then your steering angle, left and right. I also uploaded. It allows you to upload a in-car here. I have a chase cam, and then you can also. Um, I only have one lap up here right now, but you can compare two laps to each other. So there would be like a red line here, and you can check your lines and stuff like that as you go along. But we're just gonna go do this one lap for now. Really cool tool though. If you download it yourself, you can directly upload my video or my lap, compare it to your own, and instead of one line here, they'll have two, and they'll compare everything right, like side to side. So, but let's get into this. I'm gonna let this. Sorry, I've been rambling here. I'm gonna let this lap run so you can just watch it, and then the next time through we'll go do a turn by turn thing. So do the full track here. Cool. Cool. Awesome. Let's see. So we will go to the first section. Is just let's go right to turn one and two here. All right. So you're gonna see the breaking point here is gonna be at the 3 marker, and you can see. So here is the blue line here or green line, whatever color that is. That's my throttle, and then the red line is the brake. I'll say right out here. You can see, so I adjusted my brake settings. My pedals are a little, what's the word? I have a hard time, actually, me personally, I have a hard time heel toeing because my knee is a little screwed up. So I don't do actually a proper heel toe. I do a foot roll, which luckily I have a big foot to do so. But I've changed, you'll notice my, see how it goes 100%. Like typically, you're probably, it takes a lot people more effort to get to 100%, and that's just the way I've got my wheel set up here, or my pedal set up. So just to kind of get that out of the way there. But you're going to notice a best attempt here at trail braking. So we'll go through here. This is cool too because I can do a like a half speed here. So I'm going to go in here. So brakes, we got brakes right here, right at the just after the 3 board. And you're going to notice as far as the line goes, I actually don't stay all the way out here until I've seen some guys kind of stick far out here and do a late apex. This corner actually, at least the way I'm running it, is you do a trail brake and kind of start turning in. Well, you'll be able to see where I start turning in. Start turning in. Let's see, right about at that 1 board. So I'm turning in at that 1 board, and I'm actually aiming. It's a pretty early apex because, kind of like I said, you're actually going to double apex this corner. So you can see here, and then in the Jetta also, it helps to actually don't actually run any clutch. The clutch is automatic. I blip the throttle. I believe it help. It definitely helps you shift. I don't because if you don't blip the throttle, it actually doesn't allow you to downshift properly. You have to wait until the motor wants to do it, whereas this kind of forces the motor into where you want it to go and allows you to do a little bit of engine braking, which also helps in turn, especially on a front wheel drive car, to rotate it. So you'll see I time my shifts here, like on the last shift. What am I going into here? I'm going into 5th, 4th, 3rd. So I do get into 3rd here. You'll notice in the last shift, it kind of helps to rotate the car a little bit here. So let this go through here. Cap speed, yep, 4th. Kind of wait, trail off the brake, 3rd. Kind of sets the, it's an ugly noise right there. I don't like that. Cool, sorry about that. I'll just bring that back here again. Just play it right through here. Yeah. And you'll see, here, I'll utilize this cool little thing. Yep, so that's about where your apex is going to be. It's and you're actually going to kind of ride this around as much. I squeeze this off as much as I can, and you can see I slowly let off. I do, this is where the majority of the trail braking is done. Kind of keeps your car tight here, and then you drift out. Let's go back into here. Yep, so you kind of drift out, and then you bring it right back. Tight. That's your second apex right there. There's Joe. I was running, like I said, this is a test session we had for preparing for the runoffs. So there are other cars on the track. This is actually a qualifying session for the race. So we'll go into the next corner here. This corner is you bring it out. Ideally, you want to actually get your car as far to the outside of the track as you can, but that also, like it's a little scary out there because you're doing all your braking beforehand. And at one point, like you can see right now, I'm headed, basically right in between these 2 red buildings. Stab the brakes, you get on the brakes hard, and then again, I downshift into 4th, you can see, and then I kind of, again, trail brake off. Which allows you to rotate the car a lot better. Yep. And again, we'll show you right here. So I'm getting up kind of on this curbing. I like to use this as a kind of a good guide. Right off the edge of this curb here. It will shoot you kind of where you want to be. And I actually also utilize this curbing too. Obviously, it helps lift your inside tires off. Which rotates the car a little better. So it gets a little hard to replicate using the curbing every single time. so I try not to rely on it. But for quick laps like this, they're usually pretty necessary. When you're running, 9/10, when you're just kind of, running a longer race, try, I typically will stay off these a little bit more. Especially you'll notice this car, there's a little more grip on the track. And I notice this car, it's not sliding nearly as much as it's actually bouncing, which kind of disturbs the car. It took a little bit to get used to. So, again, here, we'll go back. So the braking point here. Yeah, so I'm on the brakes right now. You can kind of see this is a tricky corner. There's not too much in regards to when to brake, as much as I'm kind of just looking at my apex already at this point, and I'm just judging my speed. And this whole time I'm coming through this corner, I'm just staring right here to get where I want it to be. So stab the brakes, and you get your car on top of there. So pretty smooth through there. Drop a wheel off there. Now this corner right here. So this is the most important corner in the entire track, in my opinion. I guess one of the most. Oak Tree might be the next, but this is not a fast corner. It's a very late apex, and if you do this corner incorrectly, you're going to lose a ton of time, because this is basically the longest. After this is the longest, almost full throttle that you are in the entire track. So here you'll see the braking on this is it's really hard to tell. It's not a very good. In my mind, you can see there's a couple markings here where there's a couple the pavement gets a little darker. I kind of use that as my braking point. Yeah, so this is where I'm on the brakes right here. And this is more of a stab. You can see I stab on the brakes, get all the weight forwards, and then I start to make my steering. You can see my steering adjustments over there. By doing that, you get all the weight on your front tires. And then, especially in a front-wheel drive car, because as soon as you get on the throttle, you're going to just instantly start to understeer. So especially in these cars, you can't change any tire pressures. So I can't provide more oversteer by pumping up the rear pressures. So you got what they give you here. So you can see here. So brakes, brakes, brakes. And then there's a gap in here where I'm not even, I'm kind of hesitant on getting on the throttle, because you have to wait. See, I have pretty good steering input already here, and at this point right here, I'm off the brakes. I'm not on the throttle, and I've got my wheel all the way full lock, essentially 90 degrees. And then right here is where I just start to get on the throttle, and then I go full throttle right here once I know I'm gonna be all set to go. And you can see, that's again kind of like what I'm saying. On a typical lap, I probably don't hit a curb this much, but again, this is helping to rotate the car. So for kind of a qualifying lap, kind of just went for it. Again, it really disturbs the car. It's not something I like to try to do. But you'll see this will set me right up to go just about full throttle. I got, tiny little lifts in there. I don't know, honestly. Maybe that was just to prevent, I don't know, sanity. So you'll see here, I'll just let this play right through. Again, right here, you're said I was just gonna play curbing. You're gonna, on this track, for at least me specifically, especially in a front wheel drive car, because you can just pull through anything. Eating curbs and just staying, on the throttle, because it's, again, it's just gonna pull you through. It's very hard to disturb these cars, and any little lift here in this whole stretch, you can lose quarter to half a second. And then this is all, again, eat those curbs, hit the curbs. This whole sector is pretty straightforwards. Literally straightforwards. Well, as far as the throttle goes, you're flat out this whole way here. Keep it going here. Again, late apex, hit the curbs, late apex. And then right here, so this is a corner again. See, there's no lifts at all. If you hit your, if you just aim to rim right around here, this is a corner actually where you don't want to hit the curbs. If you hit the curbs, you'll be pushed out to the middle of the track, and it's going to be, you have a very short distance here, especially because the car gets light going over this hill. You have a very short distance to get the car off to the right side of the track, which is exactly where you want to be. And you can see fairly, this is mostly just fighting curbing and front wheel drive micro inputs there to keep the car going straight. I wish there was more oversteer, but there's not. See, I mean, you got a little. Oh, okay, we'll go right back there. You can see I got a little bit of oversteer there. Just like I said, it's where the car gets light. So a little correction there. So on this next one, the braking, I like to say again, there's no point in the track where I can tell you where the braking is. As soon as I feel the car basically compress, I'm staring at this curbing right here, and I'm going to put the middle of my car right over there. And as soon as I feel my car compress, I'm giving it a stab on the brakes. Again, you're going to push all of your weight of the car towards the front so you can get a little bit of oversteer as much as you can in this car. And you're not going to get on the throttle. You let the weight being shifted forwards give you your oversteer, and then you're going to get on the throttle as soon as you're set here. So you can see there's a decent amount of time before this whole distance right here. From here until here, I'm not on the throttle or the brake because what I'm waiting for is the car to continue to rotate. So I'll let this play through. And actually, honestly, I probably could have carried a little more speed through here, but this is a easy corner to screw up. Yeah, so now I'm on the throttle there. Oh, that's weird. Don't know why I did that. Kept going. All right. So this, like I said, this is probably the one of either the most important or the second most important corner on the track. You can carry a ton of speed in here, but you can also screw up drastically in here. So we're braking at the 2 marker or slightly after the 2 marker. Yeah, so where's my brakes? Right there. Yep. So at the 2 marker. And again, this is trail brake city. Again, ideally there'd be more trail braking, but just because of my brake situation in this car, it's a little funky. But you can see I trail off here a little bit. And you're doing similar to turn 1. You're carrying as much speed in here as you can. You're using between the trail braking and downshifts to get your car rotated. So you're downshifting 5th, 4th. This is a curb you don't want to hit. If you hit this curve, it's pushing you way out here. You don't want to be there. Kind of right here where I am is just about as close as you want to be. You can see I carried I didn't carry quite enough speed in here as I could have, so I get back on the throttle really quick, which you can do. Ideally, you don't want to be getting back on the throttle in here, though. If you're carrying a good amount of speed, the perfect amount of speed in here, you are trail braking all the way through here and downshifting, maybe a little bit of coasting. But basically, the way you want to view this corner is a big sweeping trail brake, downshift, and then as soon as you get up to this point, as soon as you get up to here, see, so again, get back on the brakes, downshift in the 3rd, right here, and you're going to see when I shift in the 3rd, the car starts to rotate a little bit, and you can see my little bit of breathing here or waiting to get on the throttle until I can let the car rotate, let the car rotate, let the car rotate. And as soon as I know I'm in the clear here, again, this is another one. Actually, I go pretty wide. So again, you can get your car. I'm half a car length over where I should be right now. But again, I had a lot of grip on this lap, so it allowed me to get away with some stuff. Yeah. So I'll just let this play through here. Check that out. Get back on there. Yeah, 3rd gear lets you really get around there. Yeah, we'll watch the stretch. Bumpy stretch. You can see it's all the steering right there, keeping the car going straight. All right, cool. So, it's cool that it stopped right here because this is our braking point. Slightly after, maybe. This is another. You can see this is another trail braking. I wish it was smoother. Again, blame my bad knee. You're trail braking and downshifting. Again, you're carrying similar, almost the opposite of in going into Oak Tree, how you downshifted from 6th to 3rd and you trail broke right, and then you turned right. This is basically a trail brake left, and then you have another tight turn to the right. A little bit of elevation change, and again, your car gets light. They're actually very similar corners, except you're instead of one, you're doing a 180. This one, you're continuing out the opposite direction. So you'll see here, I brake right after the board. You want to keep late apex, basically stay to the left of the track here. And then as soon as you get your car slowed, you don't have to downshift to 3rd. I do, and you'll see I get right back out of it. Yeah, 3rd, 4th. For some reason, I like to do. I think the 3rd downshifting in the 3rd gives you a little bit more rotation on the car when you do your engine braking. So let's let this go through. Yep. So stay left, right. I mean, look, this is. I'm right. Yeah. I'm as far over as you can be, and that's right where you want to be. You can see I'm in 4th right now. I got a little bit more braking to do. And then I downshift into 3rd, and you'll notice it's going to just pop my car on it, so I can get right on the back on the gas. Yeah, right on there. There you go. Carry it out, nice and smooth. All right, last section of corners here. This one is I'm starting to feel more confident with the way I'm going through here. On this lap in particular, I hit this curving down here on the 2nd apex, and it really throws me. And I manage. You'll notice I get on the gas. You'll see right here. See all this right here. That's me waiting for the car to rotate. Ideally, what you want is to my braking point and my turning point right here. Basically, brake and turn at the same point. It'll get your car rotated so you can be on the left side of the track here. And then you want to be patient and if your line is correct and you're patient enough, you should be able to get right on the gas and be on the gas the whole way and not have to do this breathing here that I do. Yep. So there's my brake. I'm already done braking. That was it right there. From here to here. From there to there is my brakes. Now I'm coasting, letting the car, because now I got my weight on the front of the car. Back end's going to rotate around. I give it a little bit again. This might have been where I screwed up a little bit. Probably should have left this, just coast. Because this kind of, so you'll see yeah, maybe because I was a little far left there. I think that's might have why I did that. So I could get a little bit more weight to the back so I can stop my rotation. So you'll see right here, I think what the biggest thing I did, I probably turned in a little bit too early here. I probably should have gone straight a little bit longer and then turned right, because I'm going to hit this curb here, and you'll see, look how big of a... Yeah, see this right here. I'm breathing here to get my car, get the weight back in the front. And that's a decent amount of time there. Probably ends up being like 2/10 on that lap. 2 or maybe even a quarter or more on that lap. So, awesome. Well, I'm gonna post this under this video. They're called there we go, Datapack. So again, if you go and you download V.R.S, it's free. Free to use. You can get a lot of stuff on there. It's free. I have the premium. They have a bunch of data packs that you can get from the coaches and stuff, and to utilize to compare yourself to. But you can get it, log in, sign up, find this link, and then compare as soon as you have the software on your computer. upload that. It automatically, you basically, once you have it on your computer, you don't have to pay any attention to it. It automatically uploads to the website. You can go then click on this, my Datapack, and you can compare, and you'll have, actually, let me do, I'll throw one in here. I'll show you guys how it works. Alright, so right now we're looking at the same lap, so I don't want to do that. I want to look at, let's do, let's do my old fast lap here. Just to show you guys real quick how, did that work? Oh. Oh, there we go. And actually, so I have videos uploaded to both. You don't need the video uploaded. That's just something I did to show you guys. Actually, let me show you this. Wow. What was another decent, whatever. Doesn't even have to be that good. We'll throw this one in there. 12.7. Alright. So what you can do in here, so let's go say, looks like on this lap we lost 7/10. Right there, you can see we lost 7/10 in turn 4 to 6. You know, again, I'm not going to go super deep into this, but it allows you to see. So the blue line, the solid line, is my quick lap, and the dotted is my slow lap. Allows you to go through here. Let's actually go to I like the map mode on the map mode on this is cool. Yeah. So blue quick, red slow, and they can show they kind of point out your flaws here. You can see right here. I was flat out on my quick lap for this 100-foot right here, and I mean those are two totally different lines. You can tell. And you know, again, you can go through this in every single corner. The other thing you can load too is if I do you can do an average lap too, which is kind of cool. So it just shows over the session they get all of your laps together. And they even give you like an average, basically, yeah, average for what you did, where you were on the track. Yeah, so right here. So not for that one lap, but over the average, here's what I was doing for those, however long that session, let's say 15 laps or whatever. That was my average. So on average, that was my line. And that's, you know, again, all this right here, that's where all my time was lost. And it's saying 6/10 I lost right there. So it gives you stuff like that. You really see where you're losing time. And where you can make it up. So again, really cool tool. But yeah, watching, and we'll catch you guys later.